What's going on? We back in Motor City Sports Talk. It's your boy CJ Goodfella, and we're breaking down the top needs for the Detroit Lions heading into uh, our draft spotlight, where we just talk about potential, Lions draftees. We did the free agent spotlight, had a lot of success. We did a couple of draft spotlights so far, but nothing really, concrete like that, or how the draft spotlight is going to be more in depth than the free agency spotlight and the ones draft spotlight we already done so far. But I think the number one need for the Lions is a pass rusher. But in this draft, it's very, very scarce of pass rushers. It's not that, you got Bradley Chubb and a couple other guys at the top. But as far as the depth this year at the edge rushing position, it's real, real tough. It's a tough crowd. You got to evaluate the kid from LSU who quit the team. He's supposed to be up there. There's probably some other prospects that I'm going to end up breaking down. But the Lions really need to address, with at least multiple edge rushers. Maybe somebody, early on the draft. And then somebody in the middle that got some potential, But pass rusher, on the outside pass rusher, it's imperative that they address that need because, to be a successful team, you have to be able to protect the quarterback and get to the quarterback. And the Lions, wasn't able last year to get to the quarterback with the four up front. And if you're able to get there with four consistently, that just make your defensive scheme that much more, hard to go against. Second for me is the running back position. I know they addressed it with Garrett Blunt. That kind of moved it out from number one down to at least number two or 1A, 1B. The running back position is vital, as I said many times before on this channel. It will help offense and defense if they're able to run the ball. It'll help keep the defense fresh. It'll help the offense sustain drives instead of having those big chunk plays and having red zone issues. It'll help them move the chains. It'll help, the time of possession the Lions favor. It'll help in the red zone. It'll help in the passing game as well when they start to bring that eighth man in the box, when they have to respect it. And then the Lions play action, they already like a top 5 play action team or top 10 or something like that. The threat of a run, a real legit run, would definitely open the passing lanes up, especially the play action game. And I really think it's like the 1A, 1B type of need, but I think the pass rusher is a little bit more more of a need for the Lions right now. But the running back will be two in my opinion. You got Darius Geis, Kerryon Johnson. You got the Royce kid from Oregon, the two running backs, Michelle and Michelle and the other guy in Georgia. You got a lot of different options this year. Last year, you had a lot of phenomenal options that the Lions chose to pass up on for Amir Abdullah, but I believe that's their second biggest need. Right now. Third, I think the offensive guard, the left guard position. I know they addressed it with a depth guy from the Los Angeles Chargers, but he's really not starter material from what I'm, reading and the extra deep analytics from Pro Football Focus. He's just a filler, a guy that can play a game or two or not be a permanent fix. He's more of a temporary hold. And the Lions need a mauler type of left guard. A left guard that can really press the issue and get downhill on some of these defensive linemen. Somebody that's nasty. And the good thing about it, you can find great left guards at any position in the draft. You probably can find some undrafted if you are able to evaluate talent and do that as well. But it's very vital. Glasgow played the left guard. They want him to switch to center. This year, I don't think they're gonna I don't think they have or will bring back Travis Swanson. So that left guard position is very, very important. I know the left side of the line is more known for pass protecting, but you want to be able to be all around great line and great run team. You got to be able to have run blockers on both sides of the line, and that's something to look at. Number 4, in my opinion, for the Lions draft need is an interior lineman, defensive tackle. In my opinion. I think it's very important. Maybe they can get somebody like in the second round, like Mo Hurst from Michigan, kind of be that disruptive defensive tackle and build depth there. with Sylvester Williams. They got from Tennessee, run blocker. Alshon Robinson is a 3-tech technique. They can bat balls down and get after the passer in the middle of the field. And you got a King Spence that's like Alshon Robinson, a 3 technique. And, maybe they need another run defender or just an all-purpose defensive tackle. But if you know Maurice Hurst, he's an all-around defensive tackle, and he's a very, very potent and hard to pass up. But I think that's the number 4 need for the Lions in the draft is that defensive tackle. Somebody you can find 3rd, 4th round, 2nd round. Doesn't have to be top in the line because they have addressed it with Sylvester Williams in the offseason, and also I believe, Alshon Robinson, the King Spence, and maybe another guy for some more depth, in my opinion, as well. But you keep going. I think the 5th need is a tight end, 5th top now. I mean, I know people thought this would be higher, but at the end of the day, it takes a while to develop a tight end. So I think the kid from Toledo, Michael Roberts, give him a chance to develop. He was a weapon in the red zone and for Toledo. Tight ends usually take a year or 2 to develop, and that's why it's not higher. And also they got the guy from Atlanta, and they got Luke Wilson. So they have depth there, and they have a developmental player, Michael Roberts. They got a guy that can step in right now, Luke Wilson. They got a 3rd backup and the guy from Atlanta that has experience and caught some big passes, but more known as a blocker as well. I really do think that's something they need to look at. And I think the 7th need is the outside linebacker. Only reason I rank this 7th, if not higher, the Lions feel comfortable with the kid Kennard they got from New York Giants, and the guy Christian Jones. But they feel comfortable rolling with them in the season. But I do think they need to address outside linebacker at some point in this draft and get a young one. They don't have a really, really young outside linebacker other than Reeves Maven. I think he's just too small to be every down linebacker in the league, in my opinion. But those are needs, I believe. And shout out to everybody. We gone.